So I've got Bailey today again for his third school day, his third session with me. It's freezing. My fingers keep going numb. Okay, so we're working on Bailey's. He's only a pup, he's only 11 months old. I mean, he's big, he's strong, and he's overly excited when he sees other dogs. So he's not too bad, he's not jumping on top of them or biting, but he's full on. If he sees them in the distance, he shoots off to them. And yeah, we're just trying to work on that. So the socialization side of it, so that, you know, when he does see dogs, it's not so wonderful. There is a dog up ahead, and he's not offered to go to it. He's looked, but then he's looked back at me, and then he's not offered to go. The fact that he looks back at me is exactly what I want, because he's looking at me for direction. That's what we're working on, that's what we want, so that's really good. To keep him company this morning and to work on his socialization is Barney. And so most of you, I think, will know a little bit about Barney, but for those that don't, Barney's briefly rescue over from Ireland last year. When his owners first had him, he was massively excited, crazy excited to see other dogs, and he would bark, he would lunge at them if he was on the lead, and he would look sort of quite aggressive, I suppose, but his body language actually wasn't aggressive. But yeah, he was proper full on the lead, strong, so he's difficult to hold. And basically his background, as far as they can tell, is he'd had no socialization or interaction with pretty much anything or anybody, so the world was just one seriously wonderful place. He didn't know what to do, so there was an awful lot of barking, lunging, jumping, spinning around, just downright crazy behaviour. And worked with him. I do want to add at this point, a couple of other behaviourists said he was aggressive, and he came to me and he's not aggressive at all. So he now comes to me. We just keep on top of him because he's still young, and he does still flip back into kind of a bit of a habit, if you like, sometimes when he's on, only when he's on the lead, when he sees other dogs, and he does sometimes still go to lunge at them a little bit, or just to maybe bark, or, you know, just a little bit of over interest, really. It's only every now and then, and it does seem like it's just this habit that he flips into, and then, oh yeah, no, I don't do that, do I? It's nothing that can't be handled, and he's really good. So I do still have him on some days, depending on which dogs I've got, just because he has a thoroughly great day with me, and I can still keep on top of his behaviour. So his owner did tell me over the weekend that there were some dogs, quite aggressive sounding dogs, in a car. They were barking, their teeth were going, they were growling, they were proper snarling because they were in the car. Well, you know, some dogs will react this way, and it's because that's their territory. And if they're feeling at all insecure, then they will react if the owner's not there, or even if the owner is there. To be honest, it doesn't make much difference. If they're that, you know, that character, if that's the way their pack is running at the moment, then they will be reactive. So they were reactive. So Barney did actually go running to the car, change direction this way. He did actually go running to the car, and he was sort of running around the car as if he was herding them, even though they were in the car. So he reacted to them barking, which was unusual. So that's something just to bear in mind. So when things like that happen, we have to think of what's slightly different, what may have changed, what may have triggered this new behaviour. And the cat that they had passed away recently, and that may well be the reason why you suddenly get a little bit of different behaviour coming out. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. From what I've seen already with Barney, and certainly how he's been with Shadow, who he's never met before, he's good. Yeah, he's just normal Barney. So he's going to be a really good influence for Bailey today, because although Barney was overexcited when he used to see other dogs, he now isn't off lead. He now isn't overly interested. He'll very often just go by a dog. He's not interested, and he will react accordingly. He will behave with Bailey if Bailey gets a little bit full on. basically he would just blank the behaviour that Bailey does. So a couple of times when they first were off lead together, Bailey was jumping on Barney, and not jumping on him, you know, just jumping around him, nudging him, really demanding attention and demanding play from Barney. So both of these love water as well, so that's why I thought they'd be good together. And yeah, Barney basically reacted with no reaction. He blanked him. He didn't give him any response whatsoever. That's what dogs will generally do with a behaviour that they don't want from another dog. They will begin by just ignoring it, blanking it. You know, you're not getting a response from it because it's not what I want. Only if they have to do they then address the behaviour. So Barney's perfect for Bailey. At the same time that Bailey has started getting a little bit demanding for play from Barney, I have given Bailey the shh and no, and he's responded well to that. So that's going really well. I'm pleased with this. And the plan now is to continue the walk and hopefully meet some more dogs, so we can just work on the you know, the addressing Bailey for the behaviour he does. To begin with, before I picked Barney up this morning, I only had Bailey, and I did go to Castle Grounds in Ashby because I know there's always a lot of dogs there. So we went there just for sort of 10 minutes, and there were a couple of dogs there, and they were across the other side of the park, so quite a way away. And yes, Bailey looked at them, but then he looked back at me, which was great. I didn't let him off lead. As soon as I got onto the bath grounds, I walked around the bath grounds with him on the lead, and we passed a few people with their dogs on the lead, and then I let him off lead and walked around again. So, and that's when he saw all the dogs in the distance and he looked at me for direction. Perfect. He didn't lunge towards them. He didn't run flat out towards them, sorry, not lunge. And then when we did get closer to one dog, then he did go to run, and I didn't give him that shh sound or anything. I just let him go towards the dog, so we weren't so far away. The dog was off lead. It was just running around and mooching, and it had got a ball it kept chucking up in the air, so it was a playful character. And yeah, he went over and they had a little run around together. Shh. No. And yeah, and Bailey, he started to nudge him a little bit. I did the sound just as I did then, and the no, and he responded to it. So yeah, it's going well. I'm really, really pleased. He's a quick learner. He's a friendly sort. I mean, he's just absolutely adorable. He is the one that has this little switch. So if he doesn't always get his own way, he does throw a bit of a hissy fit. He's a big dog, so he'll jump around, he'll spin around, and he'll mouth, you know, practically bite your hand. So that's just something that we have to, when he starts to do that, really step into him, give a clear upwards tug with the lead, and step into him to knock him off balance. When he does that, use your body against his body, and then try and keep walking. Try and ignore it then after you've addressed it. And yeah, that will ease off, because that's the puppy stage. That's his frustration when he wants his own way. And yeah, that's him trying to control. So we just treat it with that behaviour. We step into it with our body. We use our body to knock him off balance, and a clear upwards tug with the lead, and then we try and just keep moving. Keep walking steady, slow and controlled. Walk him through it. So after this, we'll go home. He's already met my three, so that's okay. I don't need to take them for a walk first. So we'll have a rest at home, and then this afternoon I'll have all 5 of them together, and he'll get to be with even more dogs all on one walk. So, but I'm hoping to see more dogs on this walk this morning, and if I can, I'll get some footage of it so you can see how he behaves with them. Okay, see you later.